Today, we're jumping into this incredible, dramatic, ancient story. It's all about a king who wanted good news so badly, he ended up building his own trap. It's a classic tale and a powerful lesson about the danger of only listening to what you want to hear.
And that really gets to the heart of it, right? What actually happens when a leader, anyone in power really, only wants good news? When they surround themselves with people who just agree with them? When they create that perfect echo chamber, what's the end game? Success or something much, much worse? Let's dive in and find out. All right, so picture this. For about 3 years, things have been surprisingly quiet. You know, a rare bit of peace between these two kingdoms, Israel and Aram. But the king of Israel, a guy named Ahab, he's starting to get antsy. He's got his sights set on this one city, Ramoth Gilead, and he is convinced it should be hit. Now, Ahab knows he probably can't take the city alone. He needs backup. So he reaches out to the king of the neighboring kingdom, Judah, a king named Jehoshaphat, and he puts it to him straight. Hey, will you go with me? Let's go fight for Ramoth Gilead together. And Jehoshaphat is basically on board. He says, yeah, I'll join you. But, and this is a huge but, he has one crucial condition. See, he's a bit more careful than Ahab, and he insists, before we do anything, let's first seek the counsel of the Lord. And boom, that one simple request is the spark that lights this entire fire. So King Ahab says, okay, fine, you want a prophecy? I will get you a prophecy. But you know, the way he does it tells you everything you need to know. He doesn't go looking for some neutral, objective source. Nope, he calls together this huge meeting of his guys, his own trusted advisors. And we're not talking about a handful of people. He gets a literal army of advisors, about 400 prophets. I mean, can you just imagine that scene? This massive crowd of the king's official spiritual counselors, all gathered for one reason, to give him the answer he's already decided he wants. So, the big question is, what do all 400 of them have to say? Well, surprise, surprise, they all speak with one single voice. It's a perfect chorus, and they deliver the precise message King Ahab was hoping for. Go for it, attack, and be victorious. The Lord will give it into your hand. It's a total, unqualified green light. Okay, so this is where things get really interesting. You've got this wall of sound, right? 400 voices all screaming, yes, a perfect echo chamber. But Jehoshaphat, the visiting king, he's not buying it. Something feels off. It's a little too perfect. So he asks this simple but game-changing question. Is there maybe anyone else we can ask? And, well, it turns out there is. There is one more prophet. His name is Micaiah. And he also happens to be the one person in the entire kingdom that King Ahab absolutely cannot stand and does not want to hear from. Ahab's response is just incredibly honest. He basically says, yeah, there's this guy Micaiah, but I hate him. And the reason? Because he never prophesies anything good about me, but always bad. What he really means, of course, is that Micaiah tells him the inconvenient truth, and he doesn't like it one bit. So Micaiah gets summoned, but get this. On his way to the palace, the messenger who goes to get him pulls him aside with a little friendly advice. He says, hey, listen, just a heads up, all 400 other prophets are on the same page. Do yourself a favor and just say what they're saying, go along to get along. The pressure to conform is just immense. So Micaiah finally gets there. He's standing in front of the two kings, and Ahab asks him the question, should we go to war? And Micaiah, he gives him the right answer. Word for word, he just parrots the other guys. Attack and be victorious, for the Lord will give it into the king's hand. But you could just feel the sarcasm dripping from every single syllable. And this is maybe the wildest part of the whole story. King Ahab, the guy who literally just said he hates bad news, he knows immediately that Micaiah is mocking him. He can tell this isn't the real story. So he demands, he insists that Micaiah tell him nothing but the truth. I mean, how ironic is that? He's practically begging for the very thing he claims he can't stand. All right, so Micaiah basically says, you want the truth? You're going to get the truth. He drops the act, and you can just imagine the whole atmosphere in that court just shifts, because he's about to reveal the grim, terrifying vision he was trying to hold back. And here it is, the real vision. It's the polar opposite of victory. He says, I saw all Israel scattered on the hills like sheep without a shepherd. And what does that mean? It's a vision of total defeat. An army in chaos because its leader, the shepherd, is gone. He's prophesying the death of the king.
But wait, he's not finished. Micaiah doesn't just stop there with the bad news. He goes on to explain why all this is going to happen. It's like he pulls back the curtain on reality itself to show them what's happening behind the scenes in the heavens, where King Ahab's fate was literally being sealed. And this is the absolute core of his vision. He sees the Lord on his throne, and a shocking question is put to the heavenly court. But the question isn't, should we trick Ahab? No, the question is, who will entice Ahab into attacking Ramoth-Gilead and going to his death there? The decision's already been made. It's just a matter of how it's going to happen. And then a spirit steps up with a plan. It says, I will go out and be a deceiving spirit in the mouths of all his prophets. We're talking about the very same 400 guys who had just guaranteed the king a glorious victory. The whole thing was a setup from the start.
And the plan gets the divine go-ahead. So this is the bombshell Micaiah drops. That overwhelming consensus Ahab heard wasn't just groupthink or bad advice. It was a divinely sanctioned lie, specifically designed to lure him to his doom. The very echo chamber the king built for his own comfort had just become his trap. So after hearing this terrifying news, this peek behind the cosmic curtain, how does the king react? You'd think he might pause, maybe reconsider going to war, right? Nope. The response is immediate, it's violent, and it's utterly dismissive. First thing that happens? The leader of the 400 prophets, Zedekiah, walks right up and slaps Micaiah across the face. Then, King Ahab, after finally getting the truth he demanded, orders Micaiah to be thrown in prison, and his instructions are to feed him nothing but bread and water until the king returns safely from the very battle he was just told would kill him. But as they're dragging him away, Micaiah gets the last word. He turns his own punishment into a public test, shouting out for everyone to hear, "If you ever return safely, the Lord has not spoken through me. Mark my words, all you people." He's making it clear to everyone watching. The outcome of this battle will be the ultimate proof. And that's where the story leaves us, with this powerful question that echoes way beyond ancient battlefields. King Ahab was given the truth he asked for, but he chose to believe the lie he preferred, which forces us to ask ourselves, and it's a tough one, is a comfortable lie really safer than a difficult truth?